Hello everyone, and welcome back to a new episode of Dungeon Crawl Stone Soup. We're playing a Pale Draconian Conjurer of Hepleok Arcana. We just wrapped up Lair 2, aside from the Queen Ant, sort of anthill mess up here. I'm not particularly inclined to go in here anytime soon. The loot is not really going to be worth the risk. So let's just head on downstairs. I don't think anything particularly needs review. Except to remember that we want to switch to fighting and dodging soon. Once polearms are up to 14, we will not need to train them anymore for quite some time. Maybe never. Who knows? Can't say for sure. So that made a bunch of noise. Come on, International, get back here. I was sort of hoping to... International doesn't really understand about fighting safely by backing up. Oh, really? He forgot about me, huh? That's a surprise. Whoa! Maybe he didn't forget. He just got stuck pathfinding? I don't know. Alright, let's try to confuse this guy. It's by far our most effective way to deal with big old frog monsters. Let's just head back to the stairs and rest up here. Rest off this poison. Yeah, okay. I'm starting to think maybe we don't really belong in Lair after all. We're running into just too much trouble with too many different monster types. We're just very fragile, I guess, is how to put it. You know, the Wand of Confusion, you know, paying off. No question there. I'm glad we invested in evocations and bought. Well, actually, I don't think we did buy any wands, but the evocables that we did buy were quite good. Also, right? I mean, the lightning rod really helped with a sticky situation. All right, this looks like the entry to Spider. Like, why on earth would there be worms, right? Honestly, why would there be worms in an entry to Spider either? But oh, we had already found the entry to Spider. What a weird vault. Like, I understand the scorpions and so on, but the worms? There aren't really any worms in Spider. I don't get it. Okay, well, this is a thing that has happened. And we wish to immediately get out of line of sight before more of them wake up. And then just back off. We can take most of these monsters one at a time, no trouble. The Oclob plant could be another matter, but there's no law saying we have to go fight it at all. We could just leave it, come back later. International, will you get out of there, please? I don't know. I could order her to come back, but I don't want to shout, basically. That would just make more noise, which I'm not keen on doing. But we can just take out these jellies and get like some free experience for it. So on the whole, that vault was frightening, just to see so many monsters all at once and one of them is red. But not actually terribly threatening. You know, the monsters all getting released one at a time. And the one particularly scary one not able to chase us. Now, is there, you know, loot in there? Maybe. But I don't see any need to go crazy on that. Box of Beasts, too! Wow, this is very evocable friendly, evocable heavy game, perhaps. Don't you dare get so close to me. How many charges are left on this Wand of Confusion? 15, and I have 2 more Scrolls of Recharging. Yeah, I can use this without feeling at all bad about relying too heavily on it. You know, if it's gonna save my life, if every like 3 charges of Confusion that I use up has like a 1 out of 5 chance of saving my life, that's pretty good value. It's well worth spending spending a scroll or 2 of recharging on over the course of the game. And I think that's a reasonable estimate for this. Like, it takes a few tries on the Wand of Confusion to hit a monster, so a very pessimistic estimate, let's say it's 3, to work on one of these snake monsters where we have like a 60% chance of working. So 3 charges, and I think a 1 in 5 chance of saving my life is like actually an okay estimate. Fighting a confused snake versus a non-confused snake, humongous difference. Some of those fights, like the one with the Black Mamba when we had just entered Lair 2, and like had just survived the elephants and frogs and so on, like we were easily 20% to die if we didn't do anything about it. We were probably like 100% to die if we didn't find some evocable, maybe not 100, but a lot, 50, 60. And having him confused bought me a ton of time to get out of the situation. And I think that we've had some other spots like that where like where International died and Confuse made it safe to tab that extremely fast, extremely dangerous monster. So I think that that's about right. Like, this Wand of Confusion, 15 charges, and we're saying it's roughly about every 15 charges will save my life. Roughly. That's my, like, very, very back of the envelope calculation. This Wand of Confusion is an extra life, a 1-up. Most valuable thing it's so good you couldn't even get it in Crawl, right? A 1-up. Felids get it, I guess. But anyway, the point that I'm making is that, like, yes, we're using up our charges on the Wand of Confusion, but there are going to be many, many more such things that we can buy quite cheaply. And we also have Scrolls of Recharging. It's just like running out of it is not something we should consider at all when deciding whether a situation is dangerous enough to benefit from using a Wand of Confusion. The impact is so high and the cost is so low that I should just use it if I think it'll help. The main concern is that, like, sometimes it misses and I have to evaluate whether I can afford for it to miss, or I have to take some stronger, more immediate safe action to stay safe. Alright, I think that more or less handles Layer 3, so down we go. What in the world is this song? BRB, this is terrible. Okay. I've got the internet playing me mostly like video game soundtrack kind of stuff, but it picked something that was like, I don't know, I didn't like it very much. Okay, 2 wolves, that is too many, and there are probably going to be more in a moment, so let's back off. Can't hit them both here. Let's go ahead and just use the Box of Beasts right away, I think. Idealize is another option, I suppose. We are getting that pretty low. That might be a better choice. Prism, of course, is a possibility, but it's just, like, extremely loud. I feel like I should memorize Iskenderun's here. It would be serving me a lot better than Prism has been. I've been avoiding using Prism because of all the noise. If I could take it back, I think I would probably go back and unlearn Prism. and uninvest my points in hexes. Did I invest in hexes? I did, right? Yeah. I mean, not a lot, but still, the noise is a factor I didn't consider when choosing to learn Prism, and it's making me not use Prism very much. So we could attempt to confuse one of these guys, and it would, probably work. But I think that just getting another ally into the mix, or idealizing the one we have, is a better choice. And so let's just go ahead and use this box of beasts. A juvenile fire ox, that's fine. Larval is the smallest, and then juvenile. I don't think there's anything in between. So we got like a second tier. That's probably fine. It's marked as red, extremely dangerous. Whereas International is harmless, which I don't really believe, but okay. So let's attack the wolf now. Why is the fire ox beast, like, not coming around the corner? Okay. Alright. So, I don't know. Did we really need the box of beasts? Maybe? How much damage did it actually do? It basically, like, killed a wolf by itself, I think, with that blast of flame. So it killed one wolf. Maybe not great value, but I was worried. Wolves can really overwhelm you in a pack like that, since they move at like speed 16, like faster than a hasted player. Really quite worth reacting strongly to. Come on, let me just hit him. Okay. And that's why we picked up all these evocables, is so that we have tools to deal with the higher tier threats that will appear in Lair. It would be quite foolish, in fact, to, having invested in evocables, not use them when something threatening comes around the corner. Alright, this is too many monsters. I should have backed off. I thought it was like just yaks, I can back up later, but now there's this water moccasin as well, and I can't so easily run away. Let's try running towards the yaks. Outrageous as that sounds, it might... Nah, the water moccasin's noticed me anyway. Alright, well, we can get to a choke point at least. And, I should have maybe, like, thought about how to use a Condor Flame. Ah! We could swap International with one of the yaks. That basically sacrifices her, right? If I make her... I actually can't trade now because she's not in view. Alright, I handled this maybe badly. Oh, she is still here. Okay. I thought she would probably have gotten killed by the water moccasin or something while we were out of her line of sight. So I'm inclined to just keep heading towards the exit. We could recall International, but I think that she's probably doing a good job up there of distracting the water moccasin, who's the only real threat in this situation. It certainly seems to have lost track of us anyway. It would have caught up by now. Just double check there's nothing up here, right? Yeah, okay. So we can just take the yaks upstairs one at a time. And International made it out okay, believe it or not. Let's take some decks. We're not using spells that much these days. And when is International learning stuff? Level 15 is when she gets paralyzed? Okay. Wow, that was a lot of damage. I guess we're not stair dancing all these yaks exactly. Let's back up to here, and now we've got him sort of double teamed. I closely missed the yak, okay. Down goes the yak. Now let us back up a bit more. Oh, International has this under control, I guess. Whoa! Alright, you, buddy. Stay the heck away from me. Alright. International is too heavily damaged, and so am I, to continue this fight. Oh my god, she's gonna jump in the fire, isn't she? Well, she seems to have thought better of it. Alright, we'll go upstairs to recuperate. Back down to the yak. Yeah, I'm really feeling like my defenses are quite lacking. These guys are just doing too much damage to me for the sorts of melee style that I'm trying to use. We're not sturdy enough. So real soon now, it's going to be time to switch. Arguably, I should in fact switch now. There's no like magic breakpoint at 14. We usually attack at min delay anyway when we have it trained to 13.8. You know what? Let's go get that Wand of Scattershot. That's another really strong evocable, I believe. And maybe not come right back to Lair. I was gonna just zap it with more of that, but instead, it's probably better to like get to a choke point sort of area so that I can set up a Hydra. It's there, enter next level, so that I can set up a Conjure Flame. Alright, let's take this stair then. Wait, what? This staircase is over here. Please go there. And then up the stairs. Yes. And so we were headed to pick up this Wand of Scattershot. I'll take it. And we'll just do like another floor of dungeon or something. Ought to be a bit safer than Lair. Yeah, and let's back off of the pole arms training. It's not at min delay yet, and so it's appealing to be like, oh, let's just invest a little bit more. But I think it's more important to get our defensive profile up than to focus on getting specifically to min delay. There is, as I was saying, there's a breakpoint there, which is that like after 14, it's no longer as impactful to train. But up to 14, every point is just as useful as the previous points, roughly. You know, we are attacking at we're attacking at min delay, like we're missing 0.2, and it costs 2 levels of skill to decrease delay by 1. So 1/10 of the way is how far away. So 90% of the time we're attacking with min delay anyway, and 10% of the time we attack slightly slower. So like I think that's fine. It's not that important to get exactly to min delay. +2 hat, nice. Oh, and let's mark Erica as like do not disturb. She is it Erica or Erica's just the one with the sword, right? Yeah, she has a sword and like some kind of she's looks a lot like us, really. Some mid-tier conjuration spells. Okay. Well, let's learn Iskenderun so that I have a more efficient way of dealing damage to monsters when I don't want to get close to them. And I don't know exactly what I should invest in next. I could forget Searing Ray. I'm not using that anymore. And probably Fulminant Prism as well. I have plenty of Amnesia, so if I wanted to learn something else, I could. Like, forget Searing Ray and learn Blink? That seems pretty good, actually. Let's do that. Read Amnesia on Searing Ray. Memorize Blink. Gosh dang it! I just hit yes because I was sure it was going to be the right spell. Alright. Well, next time it gives you a yes-no prompt, try reading it first, idiot. Let's forget Summon Small Mammal. Memorize Blink, which is on D, not C. This is Blink, yes. Alright. Fine. Oh, I wasted a Scroll of Amnesia there. Not a big deal. They're not usually in short supply. And, I feel like it's important to have that be reliable, and it's very cheap to train right now. So I will prioritize getting that up to like maybe 5% fail rate, maybe like 1%, something like that. It's especially useful with Conjure Flame because we've several times been in a situation where like, ooh, drum, where I wanted to put down a Conjure Flame but couldn't because the monster was next to me, and like if I could just get one tile of space, we would be fine. And so Blink helps create that one tile of space. International, would you like just chill a bit? Let's idealize her, I guess. Alright, who's still up here? Let's back off so that we can 2-on-1 them, or I guess 2-on-2 really. I have some tools that would let me hit all these monsters at once, but I don't think it's terribly important to do that. We can just sort of tab them, and especially with International. Oh, she's not idealized anymore. Oh well, we handled the situation. Blink is at 11 now. Good. Okay, so we spent a tiny bit of piety on that, which I think was well worth it. Didn't have to spend any more than that. Here, of course, the Orc Priest is the main threat, and he's in the back, which kind of stinks. Let's just pass a turn and let them get closer. Yeah, okay. So we can handle, like, small cadres of orcs, basically. Even with warriors and priests. Maybe if we have to spend some resources for particularly tough packs, but we have them more or less under control. And this is quite a bit easier than Lair 4 anyway. So I think we were right to, there's Orc. Right to retreat from Lair for a while, and also right to work on our defenses a bit more. 2 priests in the back and in the middle. Does anything happen at... Okay. Nothing happens at 6 stars of piety, it's just 5. I think there was a bug, actually, where I remember now that accidentally the draining thing said it happened at 5 stars, but only actually happened at 6 stars. I noticed that and fixed it. It was easy, but I don't know. My Hepliakalkana allies, I'm rarely at 6 stars with Hepliakalkana because I use so much Idealize. So that made quite a big difference to me, in fact. Alright, yeah, we can tab these guys, it's fine. But now International's getting in the way. I don't know, I guess it's fine. Phantom. That looked like a lowercase w to me briefly. I thought it was like some sort of blue worm. I couldn't think what that was. Like, I don't think there are any. The dart slugs are like cyan, right? Alright, the ogre hasn't shouted, and our lamp of fire has recharged. So, I checked the ogre because, checked whether it had shouted because it was near Erica, of course. So we're just gonna... I'm trying to get Internationale to like line up with me, but she's not really going for it. Alright, just to confuse for safekeeping, and he's still pummeled Internationale. Goodness gracious. Blink's at 7%. Okay, that was enough of Dungeon 10. No real need to go down, bothering Erica. She'll have a nice weapon, of course, but... so I'm not sure yet whether we should go to Orc now, or to like Dungeon 11. Probably Orc is a good choice. But that can wait for the next video. This one has gone on long enough. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.